everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Closers Podcast. Second episode of Season 2. I'm your host, Marco Alvarado, and with me, as always, is Quinn, the Moondog Kalani. Woo! What is up, my man? The one and only, the young pistol whipper. How are you feeling today, dog?
Not much, man. Not much.
You're not feeling much?
I'm picking up the pieces here on 2-2. On Dose Dose, Season 2, Episode 2.
On the
22.
The 22.
Christian McCaffrey. This has to be the Christian McCaffrey of episodes.
Or Rudy Gay. Let's hope it's Christian McCaffrey.
Let's shoot for Christian McCaffrey.
But anyways, yeah, dude. Second season, second episode. Hang 10, Episode 2 just came out. We're recording on Monday. So it is live as we speak. If you're interested in hearing Quinn talk about, what did you talk about, Quinn?
We briefly recapped what was one of the best fights of the year. One of the top 3 fights of the year, for sure, in Dustin Poirier versus Daniel Hooker, UFC Fight Night, took place on Saturday. And then we also just kind of dove into the myth, the athletic propaganda, the myth of Runner's High.
Yep.
And we shot it down for the rhino dick pills it is.
Honestly, that made me laugh so much, dude. That was hella fun. Like, I edited it. What the fuck? I was the one to edit it, who edited it. And, like, while I was doing that, I couldn't stop laughing, like, listening to you talk about the Runner's High and shit. Like, that was so fucking funny. So definitely give you props for it. It was so, dude, it was hilarious. It was just so unexpected. I was like, I wonder what this fool's gonna talk about. And then and then it's just like, you want to know why else Runner's High is bullshit? It's because and it's just like, I love it, dude. It's so funny, and it's a great way to start your week. So if you're trying to catch up on your week, I suggest to go and listen to that podcast after this one. I'm gonna be closing out your week in style on Friday as well. We're gonna go over 3 storylines of the week, but stay tuned for that. And if you're interested in keeping up with us, follow us on Instagram at The Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, because it helps us out a lot. And also, yeah, follow us on Spotify or Apple Pods or wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you haven't already, that helps us out too. So, Quinn, last night we went on a little bit.
We went to war. We were in a orc war party, and unfortunately, I was the war chief, and I led us into a Gondorian ambush.
Were you the chief though? Because I feel like a chief.
I wasn't the chief. I was the scout. I went up ahead and I came back to camp and I was like, guys, this is the way. Follow me. Oh, little did we know, I led us straight into the fires of hell. We were slaughtered. More so me than I was Swiss cheesed.
Dude, I know you were trying to tag me in.
I was shot full of holes.
So what happened? Let's give people context. What happened? What are we
before I got Wayne Brady'd on Facebook? Yeah.
Yes, before you got Wayne Brady'd. What happened?
So before we get into what happened on Facebook, we probably need to address what was the crux of the issue of what happened.
Yeah. You did kind of hint at this on like the episode with Jose, the last episode of season 1.5. You kind of touched upon this already. So if anybody wants to like rehash it, definitely go over there. But Quinn will give you a little bit of a rundown right now.
Yeah, sway over that way. So anyone who listens to our show knows that I attend the University of Hawaii at Manoa proudly. It is my dream school. Coming up, it's where I, if I was going to ever get a higher education, it's where I wanted to get it.
Yeah.
The coronavirus has completely upended many institutions, period. And the University of Hawaii is one such institution.
Right.
In mid-May, the University of Hawaii sent out its housing applications to its student body under the current policy, or what was the current policy, that upperclassmen receive priority housing registration. And within that upperclassmen group, you would have lottery numbers. There was a lottery assigned, right?
Yeah.
So all the upperclassmen go first. Within that, the higher the lottery number, so on and so on and so on. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
1 week, last week, before the housing contracts are issued, the University of Hawaii sends out a mass email pretty much saying that they are changing the housing priority policy. Freshmen will now be giving, particularly out of state, out of Oahu freshmen, will be given priority housing registration over upperclassmen. As a result, this potentially leaves 1,000 upperclassmen who have already committed to this university financially and just in terms of work.
Yeah.
I had a complete lapse right there.
Yeah.
And financially, in terms of tens of thousands of dollars in tuition and housing payments that they've already committed in their undergraduate years, as well as countless hours of studying and representing the university in their day-to-day lives,
Yeah.
the university changes this policy. It leaves 1,000 upperclassmen out of housing. In my opinion, that is promotional. It is business malpractice. It's unethical. Now, if the policy were to be changed before the housing applications were distributed, then that would be a completely different thing. But when you have someone fill out an application under a certain pretense, what you are essentially doing is initiating contract. You're initiating the contract.
Right.
The signing of the application is, the first half of the contract itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For them to change that policy in the manner in which they did breaches the original contract in favor of a new one. It's like bringing your girlfriend home to meet your wife, kicking your wife out of the house, but still expecting her to do all her wifely duties, I suppose.
Wifely duties. Yeah, I understand that. Or it could go vice versa too, if you want. It's like bringing your boyfriend home.
or vice versa. It's a gender neutral.
Yeah.
It's a gender neutral metaphor.
Yeah.
So basically that's it. I'm well aware that nothing will actually change, but what needs to happen, what deserves to happen, is for the administration to be called out.
Yeah.
To, at the very least, answer for it in the most transparent manner in which they could. And they have not been acting with transparency as of yet.
Right.
So
that leads us to Facebook.
I was on Facebook, and I've been in correspondence with several administrative folks at UH.
Right.
And, there's been a back and forth, a tug and pull, obviously. I was on the UH Manoa student Facebook group, and I was essentially attempting to rally the troops. I was placing a banner in the sand, and I was like, "Look what they've done to us! Look what they've taken from us! Hold the line!" But
that's not what happened at all.
No, it turns out it was much like Theon when he captured Winterfell. And he gave that gnarly speech. What is then may never die. die.
And they just
And then they
smacked
just
him upside
knocked
the
him
head.
out and gave him to the enemy. That's basically what happened to me. I am Theon Greyjoy in this situation.
Well,
I'm the
that's
Theon Greyjoy of UH Manoa. Hopefully,
well, that's
God
fitting.
willing, I don't devolve into Reek, but
Yeah, hopefully. Let's hope
yeah.
for the sake of this the podcast and don't devolve.
And in the midst of this firing squad that Swiss cheesed me, man, there was just bullets everywhere. I couldn't seem to reach through to people that I was simply discussing the ethics
Yeah.
of how the university went about making its decision in a bogus,
Yeah.
indirect, and quite frankly clandestine
Mm-hmm.
manner.
Yeah.
Uh, and and the Gestapo had other ideas.
Okay, so let me tell it from my perspective what happened. Cuz my story is definitely Quinn gave the context. This is from the outside perspective being thrusted into this battle.
The neutral party.
Yeah.
The neutral party. You're the JR. I was mankind in this situation. When you sent me that gif earlier today
of the Undertaker throwing Mankind off the Hell in a
that
Cell.
classic Hell in a Cell match,
Yeah.
that was completely apt, man. Completely apt. Hopefully, I can come out of this with some dude love from Cactus Jack if I'm lucky enough.
Well, we'll see about that. But okay, so this is what happened. I'm editing the podcast, Hang 10 last night, and then all of a sudden, I get a message from Quinn, and he's just like,
I put the call out.
I'm going to war it on Facebook right now," and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And he was just like, joined the University of Hawaii student Facebook group. Like they'll have to let you in, so just apply for it and just see what's going on. So I just put in some random shit. I said I was like a film major or something. Got in the group, and I just see Quinn. I see like 6 posts from Quinn, just basically saying the same thing, but just like pivoting off of the last thing he was saying, and just like in one post he was targeting like saying how the university says that they support the indigenous population, but they don't give them preference for housing. And then another post he was saying that he was just basically elaborating on his argument, but the response he was getting was just like everyone was just like, "You're looking too much into this. Like, you have no culture, Quinn. Like, you don't like you're getting too riled up. Like, you're an upperclassman. It should be easy for you to find housing elsewhere," and like all this stuff. And at first I was just like, it was like I walked into something and I was just like
a bloodbath.
You
walked into a bloodbath.
I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't have an opinion. But as I talked to Quinn more so, like, he even agreed that for financial reasons, it makes sense because freshmen are going to spend more money than seniors because seniors have already spent that money.
Yeah.
So from a financial perspective, understandable. But ethically, if you had any doubt that if you had any inclination that you were going to change that policy, you should have just done that from the get-go, instead of waiting to the last second, because now a month in advance, like upperclassmen just have like a month to find housing, right? That's the whole point that Quinn was trying to make. People weren't understanding that. And so I was like, all right, I formulated my argument. I understand. So I like responded, and dude, some people were getting really fucking nasty with Quinn. Some people were getting really pissed and just being
I
like
remained
straight
cool.
assholes. Yeah.
I was trying to be cordial the entire time. It's been years since I fell into the bowels of what is virtual civil discourse or lack thereof. It's been years. I had forgotten. Truly,
Yeah,
I had forgotten
it's
the
a lot.
vitriol.
It can be a lot.
And the venom that can be tossed your way, man.
Yeah.
Literally, putting something out there on a platform like Facebook is literally taking your ideal, putting inside an avatar, and putting it in front of a firing squad.
Yeah.
For judgment.
Yeah.
And man, they judged me harshly.
It was crazy. And so I formulated my argument. I basically said exactly what I just said right now, and just point blank was just like, this is what he's actually trying to say. It's not that difficult to understand. And like it looked, one girl like liked my comment, and like there was some like I was literally like the only person to like come to Quinn's defense. For some reason, like other people were liking his posts, but nobody was like sticking up for Quinn or like talking in favor of what Quinn was saying. And then there was this girl who liked my comment. I went to go see who liked it, and the post was gone. So like the moderators from the group like deleted all of Quinn's posts. And
they Thanos snapped it out of existence.
They
man.
did, and they said basically because he posted about the same topic multiple times that's not allowed in the group. So that's basically what happened. But, and I don't know if you can talk about that. Can you talk about the news thing? Okay. So that's that's basically what happened. So
no, well, what I can say is that apparently there have been a lot of people who have reached out to other media outlets. Today, the Honolulu Star Advertiser ran a story submitted by someone. Surprisingly, not me. I was expecting it to be mine.
Wow.
But it was not, and according to the story, it's, I'm not alone in my vocal opposition against it.
Wow. Well, that's good.
And it's not even so much a vocal opposition because it is what it is.
Yeah.
They held off announcing the policy change this late for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. We're just trying to call out injustice and bullshit when it happens.
But it was funny because Quinn was like, I need to tag my my tag partner in here.
Oh, I reached out to you, man. Straight up like, Bubba, get the tables. And
I was like, yeah, but they do that when they're winning the match, Quinn. I don't
yeah.
I don't think there's no winning. I think we're both on the table.
Oh man, yeah. It was bad. It was bad. It was like I was getting spawn killed. Like as soon as I would respawn, I would just get killed.
It was like that movie Nacho Libre, and I was El Skeleto and you were Nacho, and
get the corn out of my face.
You were like fighting those little troll demon things. You're just getting hair ripped out, and I'm just like, oh, and I just run away. Like that's basically what happened, and you're like calling for help, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It was crazy, man. It is what it is. I mean, we had a good laugh about it at the end of the night. Mm-hmm. It actually provided us some.
It's pretty funny.
Some entertainment.
Yeah.
But ultimately, man, the point of it was call the university out on their bullshit. On their indecisiveness. They dragged their feet.
Yeah.
And part of it was also like, when. The university gets away with a lot.
Yeah.
The university itself is a tourism attraction.
Right.
It advertises itself a certain way to out-of-state young men and women, and I suppose intersex or trans or whatever people. With indigenous, Native Hawaiian ideals, and we'll say ideals, but it doesn't live by them.
Yeah, it uses the indigenous culture as a selling point.
Yeah, as a marketing tool, but it doesn't see it through, man.
Yeah.
They're not living with the aloha spirit. And if they are living with the aloha spirit, it's the goodbye version of aloha.
Oh shit. Well, definitely.
So we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully.
Definitely let us know what happens.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I can go back to Oahu, back to Honolulu in the fall, but if not, then chilling home in NorCal. And
well, Well, I hope it works
You
out for
know.
you, man. I know how badly you want to go back there, but um, time will tell, and you definitely have to keep us updated on that. We're all hoping that it works out in your favor.
Well, if any last night was any indication, it looks more like a double kill.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we have a pretty cool interview with a returning guest. We're getting all the OGs back on the show in the beginning of season 2. This is pretty cool. Another OG coming back. His name is Gavin, the G Boy, and he was on multiple times in season 1, on a couple closing out the weeks, and he was also on episode, I believe, 6 or 7 of the show, where we talked about how we met. He's my best friend, residing in SoCal by way of NorCal. And here is that interview right now. All right, guys, here we have G Money, G Steezy, Gavi the Savvy,
Good evening, sir.
young Gavin. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. It's been a
You haven't been on the podcast since December with Carlitos Tito Salamanca, I believe. That was the last time you made an appearance on the show.
oh my god.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels fantastic. It feels good. I'm it's been that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been 6 months.
Since I had to it took a long time for me to recover from my Star Wars mental breakdown. That was
Yeah, little people knew, but he was actually in a psych ward for like 6 months. He just came out today,
Yeah,
and now
they just let me out. They actually told me to avoid this podcast because it's a trigger, but you know what?
Oh, I'm sorry for
They,
triggering
they,
you, sir.
they don't want me to regress by thinking about Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm sorry for instigating this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Me and Carlitos had to check you in personally, fly you down to SoCal, bought your ticket and everything.
Foaming at
But
the mouth.
Yeah, I just almost had an aneurysm over Ryan Johnson. But luckily for you, we are not talking about that today. What we're talking about is the untimely demise of something that is very near and dear to many of our generation's hearts. It is Flash, the plugin that has garnered so much enjoyment and has allowed for us to enjoy so many different things, movies, games, and the like on the internet, especially early internet. And now it's going away in December. This is something that touches you very personally, Gavin. Am I correct?
Yes, it shattered me when I found out about this, and I found out relatively late. I didn't know about this till about a month ago.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow, it's been in talks for about a year now, but
Yeah.
they just announced it last year in December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it broke me because I think about my childhood. We'll say
Yes.
2004 or 5 to probably as late as 2011.
Wow.
There's there was armor games and stick
Yeah.
page, and
Mm-hmm.
those are the main
Did,
two that I
did
can
Pivot
think.
Stick Figure use Java?
Pivot stick figure was, I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. You mean the animator thing, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I remember that thing being really fun to play with.
That was fun.
I don't know, because a lot of those animated shorts were done in Flash. They did make them using Flash. I don't think
okay.
Pivot was, though. I think Pivot was its own
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, man, do you remember scouring through those Flash game sites, and then you find something cool, and you have to almost take a physical note of what the game was called, so that when you're hanging out with a friend, you can. Oh, it was called Boxhead. No, box face. You're like a blocky guy and you're running around fighting zombies, and you have to, search armor games for like 2 hours for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, remember you're playing a game and it's like, I get the arrow keys, you get WASD. And it was just like the worst way to play a video game.
Dude, yeah, and you're like huddled next to your friend playing a game and like yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, that's in the good old days back when like on YouTube like Fred was the biggest thing. Fred and like how to be ninja, how to be gangster, all that shit.
I forgot about Fred.
Which hasn't necessarily aged well.
No.
Both of those things have not aged well at all.
Not at all. I I forgot, like, my brain literally erased Fred.
Really?
I did not. Yeah, wow.
Wow. I'm surprised you forgot about Fred. How could anybody forget about that spastic young man?
Yeah. I wonder what he's
Can you
up
believe
to.
Can you believe that dude's already like 28?
Wait, he's only 28?
Yeah, he was like
I didn't.
at the time back then he was like probably like 16, 17.
Dude, I had no idea he was that close in age to us.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, let's see. Let's look this up because I haven't thought about Fred in a while. But when I think of pivot, stick figure, and those flash games, I instantly think of YouTube.
Yeah.
And like the Soldier Boy dance and that type of shit. Like
Soldier Boy dance. Another thing that has not aged well.
no, it has not.
Oof. Actually, fun fact about I believe it's the Soldier Boy Crank Dat music video.
Yeah.
The director of that music video went on to film the short series Kraka that is coming out this year.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Is that going to be on Netflix?
It's not going to be on Netflix. I don't think any streaming service actually took it up.
Wow.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that, but I think conceptually it was rejected from a lot of places.
Wow. Well, good for him.
I mean,
I
yeah.
thought you were going to say the guy who directed that movie or that is Ryan Johnson. I was like, oh, no wonder.
That
makes so much sense.
That would be hilarious. And I think it would make me like Ryan Johnson a lot more. But
oh my god.
But no. Yeah.
So Fred, also known as by his given name Lucas Cruikshank, he is now 26. I misspoke. So he's only 3 years older than me.
What?
Yeah, he was born on August 29th, 1993. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. And he lives in a penthouse in LA now, and he's out. He's out of the closet. Good for him.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Glad he found himself. That's good.
He's been out since like 2013.
Oh.
Very old news.
Ooh.
See, just goes to show you how much I have not thought about Fred. It's been so long.
2013, huh? Wow. He's been out since we were sophomores in high school. He's been out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow, the Fred movie came out 10 years ago. The Fred movie came out 10 years ago? That feels like that came out like in 2014.
No, it doesn't. No.
To me it does.
Okay. Well, it was bigger for you than it was for I don't ever think I ever fully saw that movie.
Okay. I'm the only person that stands for that stupid fucking movie, but I will tell you that movie is not as bad as people think. It's bad. It's a bad movie. I'm not saying it's good, okay? I'm not saying it's good, but it's not as bad as people say it is, but it is still bad. That's all I'm saying.
I believe you. I'm not going to do the research to corroborate that, though.
It got a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my god. Okay, now I have to watch it at some point.
Dude, I need to see. Wait, did it really get? Oh my god, did it? Yes, it did. It got a 0, a
Oh,
0 on Rotten Tomatoes,
oh my gosh.
and a 36% from the audience.
Mm.
That movie, that movie is the epitome of so bad that it's a little kind of good. And that's why I give it some respect, because it was, there's some parts that are kind of funny, because honestly the only thing that makes me laugh is just the fucking douchebag in the movie, like, because he's just like so many people we went to high school with. It's just really funny. What's his name? Kevin, I think?
Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, it just reminds me of so many of those fucking like douchebags
What
from high school.
what I like is that John Cena is his dad.
Yeah, John Cena is his dad. That's another really funny part of it.
That's
And he's like really John Cena. Like, it comes in with the John Cena merchandise and
yeah,
everything.
it's literally John Cena. And
Oh
and
my
then I
God.
forgot Jeanette McCurdy is in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
He plays whatever her name. I don't
oh,
fucking remember any of the characters' names. But yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Jeanette,
man. Fred was a weird
it
time.
was a weird time. That I mean, as we've said a litany of times, basically the aughts, and the they were a weird time.
Dude, like I've told you many times, Gavin, the 1990s, actually the 1980s didn't end until like 2008. So, I mean, like, like the cheesiness that we kind of tied to the 80s and 90s really did not end. It probably still is going on today. We're probably going to say that, it didn't end until 2020 and like 2040.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyways, back to Flash. I
Oh
apologize.
yes.
So this is a very monumental thing for you.
Yes.
You spent a lot of time perusing, those games. Are there any sort of games, Flash games, that really stuck out to you that you remember?
Oh man, I should have done some research here. I can't remember the name. Give me 1 second.
Because I have one off the top of my head.
Yeah, give it.
I remember one time I was at a friend's house. Definitely a game that you remember, because I think I showed it to you. But I found this with my friend Miller. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind me name dropping him. My boy Miller, if you're listening to this, much love to you. But I was at his house when we were like in like third grade, and I found a game where you like can throw shoes at George W. Bush. Great game. Amazing game. Aged very well, I must say. Very awesome game. 10 out of 10 from the TCP.
I remember that.
TCP blog, yes.
I remember that. Okay.
Because you could switch it. You could, when you could throw knives. The game is you throw knives at celebrities and they're like spinning on a wheel.
Yes.
It's kind of fucked up. But then for George W. Bush, they switch it to shoes.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess in that vein, one thing that I do remember is Scary Maze game.
Oh my god,
Yep.
that I haven't heard that name in years. Oh my god.
Remember tricking my mom? We tricked my mom into playing the Scary
Did we?
Maze. Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yep.
What happened? Can you tell the story?
Um
I don't remember at all, actually. I'm surprised. I don't remember it.
Well, we were playing it, and I don't remember the full context. I just remember my mom being very skeptical and not fully believing that we had good intentions. But it lulls you into a false sense of security. Because the first level you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's super easy. Second level, it's a little bit more challenging, but you can die as many times as you want. So in that second level, my mom got hooked on it because my mom is addicted to that kind of like maze style game.
Yeah.
So she forgot that she was like, my son's a dirtbag and he would totally mess with me right now. She forgot about that fact. So she kept playing. Third level, I remember it on her first try. She does the whole level perfectly.
Oh, she even goes into that super narrow passageway.
Super narrow part perfectly first try. And then the Grudge, or not the Grudge, the Exorcist
Yeah, The
pops up
Exorcist.
and
Yeah.
screams, and my mom flipped the laptop off of her lap. It did 2 flips and landed open on the ground, just regular,
Oh my
like
God.
nothing. And I've never heard my mom scream like that. It was like a scream and a laugh and a "I'm gonna kick your ass when your friend's not here anymore." Like my mom was so mad. She was like, "That's not
Oh
funny." In her like half laugh, half furious voice.
Oh, I know that voice very
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Where she's like mad. She's really mad, but she also is like it's like she's
It's like trying to play it off too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was one that we got my mom with.
That's a great one. I like that one.
Do you okay? Then there was I've God, it was you've played. It's a one of those stick figure games,
Yeah.
and it had a story. There was like a series of them, and you're like an assassin.
Yes, the sniper
Yes.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that was a great game.
Dude, it was so cool. And like by like the 4th or 5th one, it was like almost like a Grand Theft Auto type of like it was really cool. It was like
Yeah, I remember
a
that game.
point and click adventure. Then you're a sniper, and like, oh my god, yeah, those were fun. Or Crush the Castle, classic.
What's that one again?
That's the one where it's like Angry Birds before Angry Birds. You have a catapult, and you
Oh,
try to
yes.
shoot it at the castles.
Yeah, and you have to knock him down, and you have to knock the guy off who's like standing on that stick figure. Yeah.
that's one that we will not lose because it's on app stores and stuff now.
Oh,
So you can still play it. I actually have put money into I put money into that game, and I do play it sometimes.
Wow, you are a real fan.
I really love that. Well, because it's mindless. You just it's all about timing. You just tap, and watch it go.
The one game I really got into that was a flash based game that I remember playing was one where like you're robbing. You're like you assemble a team of bank robbers.
Oh, heist.
Heist, yes, and
yes,
that game is so fun, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just to finish the synopsis of the game, like you no, it's fine. You get a team of robbers together, but they all have different like expertise, and they're all masters in something else, in something different, and you can expand your group as you get more money. You can buy different members, different guns. You can upgrade your getaway car. And you play every phase of the robbery, and you plan everything out. And like you can upgrade the getaway driver to like, if you have a better getaway driver, then it'll be easier to drive the car away. You even play the getaway, and like it's pretty insane just the detail that went into that game for it being Flash. I know there's a lot you can do with Flash, but like respect for whoever created that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that oh my god, that was such a fun game. I totally forgot about that. And yeah, the police chases were really fun.
Yeah, I remember I got yeah. It was like the heist in Grand Theft Auto basically before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. It was like that's all we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was
crazy.
So fun. And there was all kinds of like interesting RPGs. I remember there was like weird like little click to adventure RPGs. My brother played the crap out of all those. Garrett.
Oh my god.
Garrett he spent more time playing Flash RPGs than actual video games for more than half of his life.
Wow, really?
Yes.
No wonder he liked Dragon Age so much.
Yeah, he loved those games, and I remember up until the couple months before I moved here, so like 2016.
Moved to Southern California.
Yeah. So up until about 5 years ago, he would still be like, "Hey, Gavin, you should check this game out on Armor Games." I'm like, I was like, yeah, I'll just play Fallout, dude. Thanks. But yeah, man, like those
Oh my
games occupy a very special seat, you know. Or even, do you remember the Blockhead YouTube channel? No,
Roblox?
Blockhead. It's like a YouTube show about
Uh-huh.
like a he's like a smiley face. His head is a smiley face,
A
and
blockhead?
he's like crazy, and
Uh-huh.
his conscience is like a fat old man sitting on a couch.
What the fuck?
Do you not
What?
really?
No, I don't remember that. Wait, I need to look this up.
I think it was on Newgrounds. I'm I think it's called Blockhead.
Blockhead Newgrounds. Let's. Oh, this. Okay, yeah, I remember this. I never watched it, but I know it. I know now that I'm looking at the. Yeah, it's just the fucking smiley face with the yellow head and the
Yeah,
red shirt. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just super. That was another, because Newgrounds was where all the original Flash stuff was from.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. Yeah, I totally forgot about this.
yeah, dude. There's like there's a ton, or like Cyanide and Happiness, I think, came from that.
Oh, they started. Wow.
I think so. I could be wrong because
Was
that's a little
Salad
bit.
Fingers Flash too?
I think
Salad Fingers was created in Flash, I
I
think.
think so.
Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Now you want to talk about creeping somebody out, scaring somebody,
Yeah.
dude. That shit. Okay, I'll tell a quick story about Salad Fingers, if I may. So I remember being introduced to Salad Fingers, I think by you. When we, I think so. I think yeah. You introduced him to me, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like I watched the first one, and I was like, no, I'm not watching anymore. This is weird. We were like 12, right?
Yeah.
Then I turned like 15, and I got with my first girlfriend, and I went over to her house. Okay, this is like the first or second time I ever went over to her house. She was watching Salad Fingers, and she was like, "I want you to watch this," and I was just like, "Oh no, I can't. Like this is weird. I hate Salad Fingers." I told my best friend, I told Gavin I would never watch this, and she's like, "It's not even that bad. Like I watch this all the time," and I thought to myself, yeah, I should probably break up with this person because it's like, what do you mean you watch this all the time?
What do you,
What?
what do you have against Salad Fingers, Marco?
Dude, it's creepy as fuck. He eats scabs off his fucking his own skin, like, or the scabs off something. And I don't remember shit, but like I just remember it was creepy. I watched all of them because she made me, and I was just like, okay, I'm glad I got through that. I'm glad I got through that. It was weird, bro. Like, I mean, obviously, I didn't. I mean, I didn't break up with her because of it, but I was just like, I hate Salad Fingers. I hate this shit. I can't do it. I
Well,
mean, to this day, I kind of can't. I mean, I could probably watch it now. I'll be fine. But like at the time, even when I was 15, I was like, no, no.
well, I mean, good news for you at least. It's going away soon. You only have to worry about Salad Fingers existing for another like 5 months.
Well, no, those are on YouTube now.
Oh, okay, that's true.
Yeah,
I forget about the YouTube element. That's a good. Well, the animated ones are safe then. All
yeah.
the
So Salad
animations,
Fingers will never go away.
they
But
stuck with it forever.
one speaking of Flash, though, this is a Flash-based game that had his own website. This is something I frequented around the ages like fourth grade through like sixth grade, and this is called Adventure Quest. Do you remember Adventure Quest?
Adventure. Wait.
It was an online RPG.
My God, yes, I do.
Yeah, dude, and you can upgrade and become like a guardian, and it's all like myth. It's all based around like myths, and there's like dragons and stuff, and there's a giant map of quests that you can go on to upgrade your guy or girl, and um, you can like purchase pets. You can have like companions with you. It's like RuneScape without the multi the multiplayer element
Dude,
to it because you can't like hang out with friends on it. But
I totally forgot. I loved this game. This game actually was I went through a where I wanted to be a game designer. I went through a phase where I wanted to do that. So I
uh,
bought a bunch of programs to do that. It's because of this game.
wow,
Yeah, this game was the one that I was like, dude, I could do something like this.
that's
I
cool.
actually still have the storyboard and the basic plot and world elements of the RPG that I was wanted to make
Uh huh.
because of this game. I still have all the stuff from it.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, man. I forgot about this game. Garrett, see, another one Garrett played probably more than anyone else
Oh
in the
yeah.
world.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah,
I remember. How did I find that game? Oh, I know how I found it. I found that game because I used to play a game called The Wrestling Game back when I was a huge wrestling fan in like '07. And that was not a flash based game because there was literally no
it was a
pictures.
text-based game.
It was a text based wrestling game where you upgrade your guy, and it's very ambiguous and it was so weird. I actually recently played
That
it.
was the lamest
Um,
game ever, Marco.
no, it
It
wasn't.
was so
But
lame.
no, it wasn't that lame actually, because you just actually had to think about it, and you actually had to read. But the thing about that game, I recently played the wrestling game again. I created an account. It's actually really easy now. Like I think it was just because we were so young, we just didn't. Our minds couldn't wrap itself around the idea of a game where you have like you're like balancing. It's like you're balancing a bunch of different elements of a person and leveling them up around. Literally, I would just take all my XP and put it into health in the wrestling game, and my wrestler like was shitty in every other way except he just like had a fuck ton
You
of
just
health.
beat the hell out of him, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, that's literally how he got to like level at like 13
That's
or whatever.
awesome.
But anyways, on that website they showed an advertisement for Adventure Quest, and it had like a dragon and stuff. It looked cool, so I clicked on it and I just went on the journey. And then I showed you. I remember showing you. I thought you didn't like it at first, so that's why I never like talked about it again. I don't think, but I remember showing Noah too, and Noah was super into it. Um, but yeah, Adventure Quest, man. What a time. Another great flash-based game that I hope they find a way to like port to a different, I guess it's coding, right? I think that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't profess to know anything about the computer stuff, but I just hope to God that they, save some of this stuff.
Yeah, cuz it's in terms of like the history of the internet, it's very like I think it matters a lot, dude, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. Oh man, yeah,
Like it was such a critical time cuz not only like was YouTube just growing into what it kind of like, it was just starting to go, like we said with Fred and all that shit that was happening at the time.
mm-hmm.
But then you had like a lot of the first YouTubers that got really big actually made flash animations like stuff on
Yeah,
Newgrounds.
that's true. I forgot. Yeah, they that was like the first wave of actually popular stuff was a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
animated stuff.
Yeah,
God,
it's crazy.
I can't remember a whole lot of them anymore though. Sadly, though that may be, I can't remember any of those.
Yeah,
But I remember like religiously looking up certain YouTube channels to see when their next thing would come out because it was always like it was fairly, to my memory, decently crafted stories with cool characters and stuff.
yeah,
Like they put a lot of work into that stuff.
yeah.
You know,
It was pretty cool,
it's
man.
uh,
Did you have a favorite flash game?
um, I've that's what I've been kind of on the sidebar I've been trying to find it. I can't for the life of me, but it is a zombie survival game where you're basically it's like a top down kind of like Civilization almost,
Uh-huh.
where you're in charge of a group of survivors from the zombie apocalypse and you're starting to rebuild.
Oh,
Rebuild.
okay.
I think it might be called Rebuild.
Was it?
It might literally be called Rebuild too.
That's interesting.
But
Okay.
but you have to like take over the city block by block. You like take over these houses and you have to ration food and send people out on like scouting missions and bargain with raiders and stuff like
Oh
that.
shit.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, that was one that I've actually still. I mean, not obviously because I can't even remember it. Not
Yeah.
anytime recently, but up until a couple of years ago, I would did it every now and again.
Yeah, it's called Rebuild.
Okay, okay,
There's Rebuild 3 actually, and Rebuild 3 Gangs of Deadsville is on Android, Microsoft Windows, iOS, and Mac operating systems. So it has progressed to actually becoming a true
oh,
uh,
oh my
game.
lord,
That's crazy. Well, I mean,
that's
not to say that
exciting.
Newgrounds games aren't games, but
Well, yeah, one that will survive the purge of Flash.
yeah.
You know,
Let's see. Let's go on to Newgrounds real quick. I just want to see because they always have like featured stuff. Okay, they have featured movies. Elon Musk's first day on something on Mars, probably that is. Um, there's games. Yeah, it's basically the same from like the MySpace days and all that. Honestly, I was not on MySpace. Surprisingly,
yeah,
I had I got on MySpace way too late. I just jumped right into Facebook. That's like more my era, unfortunately. But there were a lot
yeah.
of people our age that were on MySpace early on, but I just wasn't.
Whoa, yeah. I mean, I signed up for MySpace, but I didn't know I was too young to know how to use it.
Yeah, to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Stick Page is still around. Just kind of looking at that right now.
Hmm.
Crazy J.
Okay, so they have like okay. So it seems like Newgrounds has like movies, games, art, audio.
Hmm.
So like songs, like game songs. Uh, most notably, from what I'm just looking at, the Under the Ocean song from Sonic, but it's like modern hip hop version. That's cool. And then they have Epic Adventures, which is just more games. I wonder if they have like a classic section. Do they have like a classic section, like a
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking around for on addicting games right now.
addicting games? You played cool math games in like in like school, right? Like when they would just like be like, you could either go and work
I
on homework or play cool math games. Like, did you do that?
I only played the tank game.
Mm.
I loved the tank game.
I wish I knew how to gamble in high school. I would have gambled all the fucking time.
Gambled.
Yeah, dude. Like I would have, dude. I would have bet
What?
money because like no, like people would play these games, right? It would have been so easy to be like, I bet you can't get it. I bet you $10 that like you wouldn't get to level like 3. Like, bruh, watch this, and then they lose, get $10. I would have bet that all the time, and then I would have started like a mafia, where like if you didn't pay me, then I break your fucking knees. I break your fucking knees.
You're a loser.
You're a loser with no knees. Listen, Giovanni. I really thought that I could trust you, but apparently, my trust has been broken. Like that would have been, dude. I would have become the Don. That's like how you do. That's how you do it in high school, bro. That's easy. Or even in college. What am I even fucking talking about? I could do that now. I should do that now. There's
I
some.
mean,
There's.
that's
There, I mean, not right now because of fucking Corona, but I mean, you have a library at your school, or like you did when you went to Fullerton, right? Like,
yeah.
remember there'd be like those dudes that are just like gaming out in the library.
Dude, that are like they're you can tell they're on Adderall. They've been up for like 3 days. They're playing some
Yeah.
league, just don't.
Yeah, they're going dumb, and like
Oh,
those fools are the ones you can bet money
oh
on.
yeah, oh yeah,
Easy,
for sure, for sure. Yeah,
easy.
yeah. Those guys that like they bring their gaming laptop to school,
Just to game.
and
Yeah.
they have a giant pile of books somewhere around them that probably haven't been opened. You know, it's just so
Mhm.
that if someone comes up and bothers them about hanging out in the library only playing games, they can say, "No, I'm doing work."
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, I remember it was such a bad problem at the community college I went to at CRC that they had to ban certain people from the cafeteria
really?
because they took over the cafeteria. There were so many of them. There was a ton of
How
people.
many were there at your school? Jesus.
Dude, dude, no, there would be people that didn't even go to that school that came and gamed in the cafeteria.
Really?
Bro, it was
That's
like
crazy.
it was like the gamers, the bronies, and the fucking like those like steampunk
Oh
like
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Those three groups of people like formed into one giant like sect and took over the cafeteria. And like they just would game and like I don't even know. I remember I went in there a couple times and I was just like, this is not for me, and I never went back
That's awesome.
to the cafeteria. But yeah, dude,
Yeah,
crazy
we
shit.
never had that many. I think I saw like they were packs. They were like packs of 5, and they would be kind of dispersed around the campus.
Oh really? That's crazy.
I remember
Yeah, dude, it was a big
my
problem.
biology professor once. I saw him hardcore gaming it. I was just like, oh, remember all that
Wow.
respect I had for you? It's gone now.
Hardcore gaming.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
because I don't support hardcore gaming. I love hardcore gaming. Just you know, when you're at school, talk to people. Just like
I know,
say hi
yeah.
to someone,
Yeah, I
make a
know.
friend.
Well, in their opinion, they are saying hi to somebody just online.
It's true.
And they have friends right next to them. Why would I need anybody else? I have people right next to me.
It's like, okay, you haven't spoken
Hmm.
in like 5 hours, but all right, man. You do you.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, man. That's crazy. But yeah, Flash, I'm sad that it's going, and it seems like right now things are still intact. So if you have if this conversation has sparked any nostalgia for you, I think it's safe to say that I speak for Gavin too, that you should go and check out Newgrounds, or
Mhm.
what's the other
Uh,
ones?
Newgrounds, addicting games, armor
Addicting
games,
games. Yes.
stick page if you're feeling dangerous. If you're feeling dangerous, hop
Mm.
around on stick page for a little bit. Then you'll really get inside of my mind. That's the real place. But what I will say, let me see if I have this article up. It's not the end of the world for Flash, Marco.
Oh, is it?
It is not. I'm still trying to figure this out, whether it's a program, a website, or a product, but it's something
Yeah.
called Flashpoint. It
Oh.
is a 288 gigabyte collection of 38,000 Flash games that have been preserved in
Wow.
anticipation of the purge that's happening. So not all of them probably made it into this collection, but a decent chunk of these games will live on after 2020.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually amazing that somebody was able to, or a collection, a team of people were able to preserve all these games.
Yeah.
That's fucking phenomenal. Good for them, whoever they are. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Wow. Do you know how we could get a hold of that collection of games?
I am pulling that up. So it's a company called Blue Maxima.
Uh huh.
Oh, it looks like you can just download it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you could just literally download it from. I mean, you gotta have. Okay, they now have 52,000 games.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
you're probably going to be looking at like 300 gigabytes. So
Yeah. You would need a whole hard drive just to hold those games. But I mean, that's cool. I mean, I think it's worth it
yeah.
personally. What's a 1 terabyte hard drive? I paid for my one T hard drive like $50 now. They're not that expensive anymore.
Yeah,
So
it's not as crazy as it used to be.
yeah, dude. I remember I bought. Okay, really quick story before we end this conversation. But I remember I bought, or I had to buy a $300 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Oh,
500 gigs for $300 back in like 2012 or 2011 because I was home alone one morning and I got a fucking call from this like Indian lady who was like, hi, I'm calling from Microsoft team, and we detected there's a virus on your computer. And me being like hella scared because I was like, okay, I could either trust this person or I could not trust this person. But if there's a virus on the computer, my parents are going to get pissed at me. So it's like, either way, in my mind at the time, I'm going to get fucked up. So I was like, okay, fine. So I let them they like had me download something. I went on and they like went on and just installed a Trojan horse virus onto the fucking computer. And then when I told my parents, they weren't really thinking of anything. They were like, when I told them what happened, they're like, okay, good. I'm glad you did that. Because they thought it was real too. And then I went on the next day, like online to just like question, just be like, I'm really interested in to see like maybe other people have had this happen to them. And there was like 500,000 fucking articles being like, yes, it's a scam. They install a Trojan horse virus into your computer when they call you to take your information and like spy on you basically. And I flipped the fuck out and I told my parents, and then they were like, my dad was like, well, you got to buy the hard drive so we can take all this stuff and put it on the hard drive so we can wipe the computer clean.
wait,
So
it's not how that works, Ruben. Come on.
what do you mean?
If the virus is in there, don't you have to wipe it clean regardless of the files that are on there?
No, because we hired a computer guy who isolated the
Okay.
virus and was like, okay, the virus is only it has only taken these specific files.
Okay.
So everything else he just like,
Okay, so it was after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, that computer guy, that really nice Filipino computer guy, I forgot his name, but shout out to you if somehow you're listening to this. But he saved our lives, but I was out $300 that I was saving to buy like video games or like Warped Tour tickets or some shit. I don't know what I was doing at the time. I don't think I even knew what Warped Tour was at the time, but like, yeah, I was like saving that money for something, and I had to spend it all my birthday money on that stupid fucking 500 gigabyte hard drive. And I got a 1 terabyte for $50 like 2 years ago. It's so stupid. I hate it, but yeah.
Wow, man, you flew too close to the sun, man.
Yeah, I thought I knew it all.
You got
and
the
I didn't know
Trojan
shit.
horse scam. That's hilarious.
I did get the Trojan horse
I
scam.
can't
And
believe I've
then
never heard this. That's so
really?
funny.
Wow. Yeah, no, that happened. And then like a year later, the same lady called me again. And I answered the phone, and she was like, "Hi, this is from Microsoft, blah blah blah." And I was like, "I know what this is. I'm gonna call the cops." And she just hung up and never called again.
Gosh.
Yeah. Great times.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah.
But Gavin, thank you for indulging me in this conversation of not just Flash and Flash games, but things we haven't thought about for a long time.
Yeah.
And memories that we will never forget. Thank you again. It's always fun to walk down memory lane with you, man.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
And I will talk to you next time.
All right, man. Have a good night or a good
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever time it is right now.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, you too, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Later, dog.
right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that chit chat with Gavin, the G Boy. Now it is time for weekly recommendations. Yay! All right, here we go. Weekly Recs. Quinn, would you like to start it off? Kick it off for us?
Sure. My first recommendation is another comic strip, but this time in the form of a book. I am recommending The Essential Calvin and Hobbes by Bill Watterson. Calvin and Hobbes, particularly, I mean, I always had the books, but what Calvin and Hobbes to me represented at a young age was a likeness. I think a lot of young boys saw themselves in Calvin.
Yeah.
Particularly in the grandeur of his imagination.
Right.
And how how his imagination would manifest into these insane scenarios where his face would act, his mother would walk by and be like, "Don't make that face, it'll stay that way forever." And then it actually does.
Yeah.
And he has a massive panic attack.
I haven't even thought about Calvin and Hobbes since I was like 10. Damn.
Dude, it's insane. Really good. And some of them are quite profound. And some of them are quite mature.
Yeah.
It represents, and I'm only speaking for, young teenage boys here. But it just represents this time in your life where, you feel at your most absolute free.
Yeah.
And it's depressing, but I assure you, you will never feel that freedom ever again.
Because it's not just freedom from like being able to just kind of go out and do what you want.
No, part of it is
like the mental freedom.
Yeah, part of it is mental freedom that's largely contributed by the ignorance of youth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gain a lot of things with experience, and you also lose a lot of things as you grow through life.
Yeah.
And I think what Calvin and Hobbes does for me now, reading it, is it kind of rekindles that. It's adding a bit more tinder to the imagination, to the imaginary flame. You gotta, your imagination is like a muscle, man. You gotta work. You gotta work on it.
It is the spark that lights the fire that is your imagination.
Oh my God, I didn't know where you were going. I thought you were gonna quote some like horrible Hunger Games sequel. But
no, I quoted some horrible Star Wars sequel. But anyways.
But yeah. Calvin and Hobbes, man, what it represents in a young man's life, a very rare time where the ignorance of youth gives you the most absolute freedom you will ever have, both personally, socially, and within and creatively.
Yeah.
So that is my first recommendation. Calvin and Hobbes, whether it be in a newspaper or in a in a collection by Bill Watterson, I highly recommend it. Calvin and Hobbes.
Definitely have to revisit that. I have not, like I said, haven't thought of Calvin and Hobbes in a long time. But I remember reading those when I was a kid and really loving it. Honestly, I didn't love him as much as some of my other friends did, but man, yeah, those are some great comic strips for sure. My first recommendation, let's see, we'll go music first. So there's a band by the name of Hum that just put out a new album on the 24th of June, 2020, called Inlet. It is their first album out since 1998, and it is a banger. It is awesome. This album, they're just they're a rock band from Illinois, and they're signed to Polyvinyl Records at the moment. which is the label that they released Inlet on. And it is just a great album from back to front. Just a great alternative rock album. There's a lot of sounds that I draw inspiration from when I make my music. I kind of aspire to sound in a way like Hum. They've inspired me a lot, and they've inspired, a whole new generation of bands that have been waiting for this specific release ever since I was born, really. I mean, the last album dropped in 98. I was 1 year old, and now here I am 23, and I'm excited for this. So my favorite song off the album is Desert Rambler. It's a perfect mix of just hard rock and aggressiveness in the guitars and the bass and the drums, and dismay in the vocals, dismay and some melancholy vibes in the vocals. If that's your kind of thing, check out Inlet by Hum. Hopefully they'll be touring in support of this album once, this whole pandemic thing kind of eases, which it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon, which fucking sucks, but that is my first recommendation. Inlet by Hum.
Nice.
Thank you. What's yours? What's your last one?
My second recommendation is actually a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts. It is it's called The Fight with Teddy Atlas, co-hosted by Ken Rideout. Fight aficionados know who Teddy Atlas is. Hell, if you've watched ESPN in the last 10 to 15 years, you know who Teddy Atlas is. He often gets in loud boxing verbal spouts with Stephen A. that are quite hilarious. But, beyond that, in all seriousness, Teddy Atlas is one of the greatest, one of the most renowned minds in the history of boxing. And as of late, his podcast has been not so boxing centric, but it's actually featured a lot of mixed martial arts.
Oh, really?
And that has to do in a large part with, there are no live sports right now, and, UFC and MMA is kind of dominating the market as a result of that. Right. And another component is Western boxing, American boxing. Its role and influence in mixed martial arts is also increasing. Teddy Atlas is aware of that. Others are aware of that. And so you're getting this kind of like cross-pollination of where, be completely fair in saying a sensei, a master of a dojo of another discipline is, offering great, tremendous insight into another sport, and it's absolutely valid insight.
Interesting.
It's entertaining. It's funny. They're great stories. Teddy Atlas was the trainer for Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was just getting started.
Oh yeah.
If you know anything about the insanity and the pure chaos of what was Mike Tyson's light youth, Teddy Atlas was right there. He was his trainer. I will not divulge any stories or any details of any stories because I cannot do them justice. You have to hear it from the great Teddy Atlas himself. Paid in full, Teddy Atlas. The Fight with Teddy Atlas and Ken Rideout. You got to check it out. Great podcast.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to check it out. That sounds awesome. And I'm also just looking up Teddy Atlas, and the first thing that comes up is Teddy Atlas breaks down Stephen A. Smith's boxing video. Stephen A. Smith with the lowest punches you'll ever see thrown in your life. Oh, it's such a great clip. Such a great
from the hip. Stephen A. took that literally from the hip.
Quick, yeah, dude. He's quick drawing straight up. That's what he's doing. He's straight up quick.
They call me
drawn.
Stephen A. Six Shooter from the hill.
God, I love Stephen A. Smith. He's such a goof. Speaking of goofs, the last recommendation of the show for this week comes from none other than comedian Eric Andre. He recently released a new special called Legalize Everything on Netflix. I watched this last night because I just had to take a break from homework, and right before I edited the Hang 10, I watched it, and oh my god, I wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I did. Eric Andre is really coming into his own, and I've always known he's been funny. I always know he's funny, but the way in which he crafts jokes and he like weaves his like personality within jokes to get certain punchlines that only he could get, like it's amazing. Like he's such a great, not just comedian but performer, and his timing and his execution is just impeccable in all of his jokes. And as the title suggests, he does talk about legalizing like all drugs, and he at one point he even talks about how Puritanism founded, like Puritanistic values were the like founding or the foundation, like the building blocks of American culture and American morality. So he like jokes about that, and then he like calls up some random person's mom from the audience. He like takes their phone, and like there's a bunch of other stuff that he does in this special that just is like amazing and just remarkable in itself from a comedy standpoint. And he definitely, in my opinion, solidifies himself as, if he wasn't there already, as one of the top comedians in doing it today, for sure. This is like, in my opinion, this is a special that everyone's gonna kind of look back at and be like, all right, this is like he's officially arrived as specifically a comedian, not just a entertainer or a talk show host, as many people know him as. Like as a straight up just comedian, he kills it in this. So
sick.
Definitely not a special you want to watch with your parents. Definitely not.
Unless your parents are rad.
Which, you know, my parents would be fine watching it with me, but they would, I would feel awkward. So as long as you're cool with your parents to that point where like you can watch really raunchy stuff and be fine, go for it. But I personally am not there. Maybe next time my dad's on, we'll get Ruben the Kitty's Titties take on the Eric Andre special. Maybe that will be the next time my dad is on. We'll see, but that's my last recommendation. That's the last recommendation.
Do you have a favorite comedy special of the year?
This year?
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many comedy specials this year, honestly. So, the Dave Chappelle one was last year, right?
Well, yeah, he had one last year, but he also released the 846 one.
Yeah, the 846.
It wasn't much of a comedy. I mean, it wasn't like a comedy special.
Yeah.
But, it's more like a Aristotelian.
Yeah.
Lecture, but
I mean,
it was profound.
I haven't really seen too many specials this year. You know, a big reason because of the pandemic. There's not a lot of comedy, not many comedy events happening right now. But yeah. I must say, if I'm picking one that I've seen that is the best, it's definitely the Eric Andre one I just talked about. Legalize Everything.
The comedy special that my favorite comedy special this year so far is Ball Hog by Tom Segura.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you've seen it yet on Netflix.
No, I haven't seen it, but I heard Tom Segura is funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I was in stitches. Dying. Oh, we also do actually have some big news that came out today. That I do think maybe the world wants your valued opinion on.
All right.
How do you feel about Cam Newton going to the Panthers? I mean the Patriots. That's a botch. I botched it.
No, it's fine.
That was
That's
a butt
funny because
fumble.
I was planning on talking about it on the Friday, closing out the week. But I'll give you a sneak preview for those of you who are listening this far into the show. I'll give you a sexy sneak peek behind the curtain of my mind and say that I'm not surprised that he signed with the Patriots at all. It makes perfect sense. And, of course, Bill Belichick would have waited till almost literally the last minute to sign him because that's what Bill Belichick does. That's what he did with Darrelle Revis. He waited to when Darrelle Revis's value was at its lowest, and he just snatched him up. Even though he still had to pay Darrelle Revis quite a bit of money, it was still the lowest value he had in his entire career. And Bill Belichick took him, and Darrelle Revis killed it for the Patriots that one year. So,
Who was the guy that the Patriots were gonna roll with had they not got Cam Newton?
Jared Stidham,
That's right.
which they still
Jared.
might roll with him.
Bill Belichick, if I could offer any kind of advice and a bad joke, Jared, sit him. Sit him. Sit him.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. I think it'll be interesting.
Really? I can tell you what will happen, a 6-10 record.
With Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't like that receiving core, man.
Cam Newton hasn't played a game in almost a whole year, and actually over a year. And like, if there's anybody who can get the most out of a quarterback that everyone else is kind of like given up on, who has all the tools, let's just say a man must know his tools. And this man, Bill Belichick, knows his tools. So I have faith, not faith as in I'm hoping for them to be good, but I have a feeling that the Patriots will be like 10-6. Like they'll be
You think they'll win their division?
No, I don't think I think the Bills are going to win, but I think they'll be second. It'll go Bills. I don't want to give too much away of my predictions because we're going to do a full NFL episode probably end of July. But I'm going Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets.
I'm going Bills, Jets, Pats, Dolphins.
Wow. No Tua love. Interesting.
The rest of the team is... he may be a Dolphin, but the rest of them boys some dead fish.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. But anyways, I will be coming at you on Friday. I'll be coming at you on Friday to close out your weekend style. Hear me kind of go a little bit deeper on the Cam Newton storyline and also talk about two other storylines of the week. And then at the end of the episode, I will give you my theme of the week, which is just something that I've been thinking about, either a topic or a certain kind of, a theme that I've seen throughout the week and kind of ties everything together. So I hope you enjoy that episode. If you like this episode, though, please give it a thumbs up if you're listening on YouTube. If not, please share this with your friends, with your mom, with your dad, with your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other or domestic partner, or your aunt and your uncle or anybody. Please share this if you enjoyed it, because that means other people will enjoy it too.
And if you are also watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe below.
Yes, please. It helps us out a lot. And without further ado, we will bid you an adieu. Take care.